everybody? It's tequila time. It's Friday night. I'm bored. Nothing to do. Um, so let's drink some tequila. Let's do it online. I picked up a couple bottles between yesterday and today, and show you what they are, and we'll get to drinking. First one I got was at Uncorked KC. Went over there on Thursdays. They have 15% off mezcals and tequilas, and so I picked up Siempre Supremo. It's from now I'm 11:37. I was watching an interview with Tasting Tequila with Brad, with one of the owners of this, and he was drinking this, and I was like, I think I've seen that before somewhere, and I haven't really gotten into Siempre at all. Stopped by, visit Ian. Ian wasn't there. Lauren was there, so talked to her for a while, and said, you know what? You still got that bottle. I'm going to take one home. So this followed me home, and it's kind of tasty. So let's drink some. It is a Llorona ground high proof Blanco. Look it up in Tequila Matchmaker app. This is some pretty good stuff. Got really good ratings on it. Oh, that's delicious. Woo, woo, woo. It's Friday. I'm tired. It's been a long week. It's just, need to let loose a little bit. And what a better way to let loose a little bit and have some tequila. Wow. This says 49%. We'll round it up. It's 100 proof. It's got a nice flavor to it. Vegetal, cooked agave. Nice minerality to it. There's some pepper in there. Little pepper in there. Of course, there's a little proof in there too. Cleans the glass really nice. Yum yum. One of these days, I'm going to have to figure out how to do a live and see if I can get everybody to join me. We'll see. I'd like to get somebody to come in and sit with me when we drink and talk about tequila, but I can't find anybody that's free at the same time I am. So I'm free all the time. But anyway, I'm here with you, and we're going to drink some tequilas, go over some of the stuff that I made videos of this week. You'll take a look. You can see the tears running and the legs running down the glass. This is very good. Compare it to I had to think about that for a little bit. Maybe wow, I don't know. Maybe Viva Mexico Blanco would be close, but not the same. And of course, it's not even made at the same place. So, of course, Siempre has moved most of their distilling to 1414. So, but this isn't. This is from a couple years ago or a year ago. I don't know. Is there a date on here? I don't think there's a date on there. I don't see any dates. This is batch 3 and bottle 140. And I don't see it's got a SKU code on it. Nope. I don't know when it was made, but it's definitely tasty. This would be a good one either. I don't used to go on a sip. Why not? It's just good, good, good. Cleanse my palate a little bit more with the water. I'm stopped up. I work in a very dusty industrial building. Allergies to get really bad. I'll be clear in the morning, but not right now. But I get really good aromas coming off of here that I know that I like. And it tastes good. Wild fermentation, Tahona crushed, special cut high proof. Well, let's see how it stands up to this. Well, let's pop this puppy open. So, let's see. What can we talk about while I'm opening this? Getting ready to do the Zoom call that's coming Tuesday with the Agave Social Club. That'll be interesting. We're doing it with Insolito. And I've had all of their expressions. Yeah, all of their expressions at some point. I bought the first three, the Blanco, Repo, and Añejo. And I liked it. The Añejo had a nice color and a little woody. Oh, if you want to ask, it's lot 179B. And then it had a nice little bit of oak to it. Very tasty. The Reposado was nice. The Blanco was nice. Liked the bottles because they were colored, but you could still see in the bottom edge. You could still see the tequila inside. Let's give this a see. Not the same. No, there's not much that's going to compare to Fortaleza in aromas anyway, because of just the difference. Down the hatch. Okay. Yes, it's not as proofy. It's not high proof as the Siempre, but mouthfeel way more buttery. Not that the Siempre is thin by any means, but the Fortaleza just has more viscosity to it. So the flavor just sticks inside your mouth a little bit better. I like it. It's, of course, it's always my go-to, and I can occasionally, most on a kind of a regular basis, find, especially Blanco, I can find. Matter of fact, this evening I just picked up a bottle. This was the one that I had on the shelf. When did I get that one? It's been a while back. Oh, this is the one I picked up at Dick's Liquor. This is the one that I got in the raffle. The one before that, of course, was from Liquor King in Harrisonville, and the new one back up on the shelf is from Liquor King in Harrisonville. Stopped in there tonight after washing my car, getting all that salt and grime off of it after all the snow has melted away, and I thought, oh, I'll just stop by. And Talk about perplexing, because there's Fortaleza, there's Cascaween Tohona. And when I mean Cascaween first, it's the olive oil Blanco bottle. And then there's Tequila Ocho, Blanco, and Repo. There's Lalo in there. And I'm like, I'm going to get a backup so I can open one up. So, this is delicious. Can't beat it with a stick. So yeah, we're gonna do a online sip with the Agave Social Club. All the members together, be online Tuesday night. That'll be fun. So yeah, Tuesday we're gonna be doing a call with Mary Carmen Ortiz Canway, and she has a special guest, which I'm really excited about for two reasons. One, we're going to Tequila in February on the 14th, and I already have a tour scheduled at his place of business. So I am looking forward to meeting more than once, hopefully, Guillermo Erickson Souza, Fortaleza. We're going to have a Zoom call with him Tuesday, what is that? Tuesday the 28th. So that's about 2 weeks before I go to Tequila. So going to be very interesting. I just got we're getting my confirmation for distillery tour. I will be taking my filming equipment and being able to do some of that while I'm there and be able to, and not overload my phone. Hopefully, it's going to be good. I still got a few things to do. I still need to get a tour scheduled with El Tequilino because we're staying there at Casa Salas, and need to get transportation from Guadalajara to Tequila and back, and look into a couple of other things. But salud. I could drink that all day. I don't know. I'd be poor, but I could drink that all day. Oh, let's get into something else. So I like my Blancos. I like my rested. I also like the añejos, but I do like the extra añejos, especially when I'm into the night. I want something a little, that's nice and sweet, a little oaky, and has a nice color, nice fruitful aroma to it, and flavor palette. Oh, I'm sorry. Arette, Gran Clase, Extra Añejo, single barrel. If you haven't seen the video yet, it's out there. It's really good. Yeah. Mm. Get that oak right on the end. It's delicious. Lots of sweetness, agave sweetness, and fruits that come through. It's just delicious, and I love it. I love it. Love it. If you don't have it, can't find it, say, I can always say, go to a bar, find it. If you live in Missouri, go to a Macadoodles in Springfield, or there's one here in Lee Summit. See if they've got it on the pour bar, where you can buy a pour or get a sample. It's a great way to try it. I mean, and that's the most inexpensive way. And but once you try it, you'll be hooked. And I'm telling you, this is my second bottle. One, this was for a fundraising event for the fire victims of California. So that was one thing. That, oh, I'm going to buy that. So I got some of that, and then tried it. It was really good. The bottle I had before was delicious as well, but it being a blended barrel or blended bottle, I'm not sure it was quite this oaky. I'm not saying that, and I like a little bit of oak. Occasionally I'll drink a bourbon, especially with my brother-in-law, and it's kind of fun. But this is not, not that. But probably what got me started down the extra añejo was I went to CJ Agave's house. If you don't know who he is, um, all things tequila. If you see the sticker behind it's my right shoulder, or no, this one, which is my left shoulder. You see the sticker above the Suerte. It says all things tequila. That's on Facebook. He has that and the Kansas City Tequila Hunters, and he has the All Things Tequila shop. Was marketplace and then now it's shop. He sells all kinds of tequila apparel, shirts, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, stuff. And yeah, good friend of mine, I would say. Yeah. And he invited me out. My first time that we had met, we had talked a little bit online and talked on the phone. He invited me over to his house for a bottle share. And somebody had brought a Don Abraham Extra Añejo for everybody to try. Oh my, talk about dark. It was, it was aged bourbon dark, but it was delicious. It was sweet. It was fruity. You still had some of the barrel notes. You still had some of the agave there coming through. I don't know how old it was. I really don't. I bought a bottle of añejo and I liked it. The extra añejo was just that next step up, and it was, oh my goodness, great. Loved it. So that got me kind of going. So then, in the meantime, I've had the Arette Extra Añejo. I've had El Tesoro Extra Añejo. I got the Tears. What else did I get? Extra Añejo. That's that's pretty much it. I mean, and then I've had lots of añejos along the way. Um, but yeah, the Don Abraham kind of kicked that one into gear for me. It just expanded my palate to where I like all the expressions. Um, I just I just like tequila. But I love exploring different varieties of blancos and different varieties of reposados and different variety on down the line. I enjoy that. I mean, it makes a very interesting experience. Not sitting, you know, tequila tasting is not to sit there and get wasted. It's to enjoy the variety of the spirit. You can do the same thing with bourbon. You can do the same thing with wine. You might be able to do the same thing with gin, but I don't know that I do that. And vodka's vodka. It doesn't taste like anything. Why I like tequila so much, because you could have 3, 4, 5 different blancos sitting in front of you, and each one of them is completely different, but it still has the same 3 parts. The same 3: water, agave, and yeast. And the combinations in between those makes it so much different. And then how long they rest in the barrels, how long they're aged, what kind of barrels they're aged in affects the flavor profile. And that's just, that's awesome. It's just awesome. Whiskey has basically no flavor to it, and bourbon has no flavor to it till it's aged, and the barrel gives it that aging. I mean, the White Dog has sweet corn liquor to it, or if it's a blend, but like bourbon, it's has to be 51% corn, and then the rest of it's whatever. Um, So it's a grain spirit, and it has to age to really become mature to where it's tasty. Agave's tasty straight out of the still. You know, this is a great testament to it. It's tasty straight out of the still. It's tasty straight out of the still. It's even more tasty straight out of the still. So all the Blancos are they're the base for everything that goes on past that point. The reposados, the añejos, the extra añejos, the jovens, if you want to go that way as well. Blend a couple of them together. Those are all good and great, and that's why I like tequila so well. Some people think I'm a little crazy, but then when I give them samples of good tequila, not what we drank to get drunk in high school or in college, but something you can sip like you would a nice bourbon or a nice whiskey or a nice wine. They're like, that's tequila? No way. And like, yeah, that's tequila. So that's why I do what I do. I like to talk to people about tequila, and I like to share tequila. And right now my sharing has to do with some of my coworkers at work who were like, "Oh, you turned me on to doing this and this. What else? What other ways can I go with tequila?" And I'm like, "There's thousands of ways, thousands of ways." So you just try something you like and expand on that. Start with the Blanco. If you're coming from bourbon and whiskey, well, try an añejo or an extra añejo, but go all the way down to Blanco to find out where it comes from, and you're gonna find a whole new experience in tequila. Salud again. It's just so tasty. I love the aromas coming off of there. We talked about this. This was the one. This was today's video at noon, and man, when I cracked that puppy open, oh my, it's just like citrus notes out the wazoo. But you're getting the cooked agave. You're getting that nice sweetness from the cooked agave. Yeah, that's just really good. Delicious. A little pepper on the end, but delicious. Well, I'm hoping to have some visitors at some point this weekend where we can drink some tequila with some friends, and that will be a fun thing to do. If you can't tell, we're opening the tiers again for a little tasty of this, and then we'll see what we pop open next. It's funny. I was going through Facebook and YouTube and Instagram today, and there's several of the guys that have pages and have YouTube channels. Who all's going to Mexico? When are they going? Well, there's a whole slew of us going down end of this month into the first of the month. I know Long Island Lou and Aged Agave are going down right at the end of the month, and they're going to be there for a few days. CJ and Lee are going down the 1st through the 8th or 9th. Brad with Tasting Tequila with Brad, him and his wife are going down. I don't know if they have friends going with them or not, but they're going down somewhere between when CJ goes down and when I go down. And then I'm going down the 14th because 14th through the 17th in Tequila, then going to Guadalajara, and then some of the guys from the South Carolina Agave Club, North Carolina, the Forte Fanatic group, Bogart and some of the other ones, they're going down right after, like they're coming down on the 15th, I think, or the 16th. And so I'm hoping to meet up with some of the guys that are going down. If it's just to go somewhere and have a drink or get something to eat, that's that's my plan. I don't have a plan. And I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan. Yeah, ask my family. I don't have a plan. I fly by the seat of my pants 90% of the time. That's why we're doing what we're doing tonight. I'm bored. I want to drink some tequila, and I don't want to do it alone. So I'm going to drink tequila with myself on a camera. And you get to join along if you watch the video. Hey, have any comments? We could do this more often if you want. What do you want to drink? You kind of see what I got up here. You kind of look, there's some Lost Lore. There's a little bit of Viva Mexico. I have a little bit of Tequila Ocho. I got one thing of Volans that I'm probably going to have to replace, which means I need to go to Mike's Liquor in Westport and go get me another bottle. And I've got some Cascaween of all sort of varieties. I've got some G4. The only G4 I really have is the G4 Madeira. That's my favorite G4. The regular G4 is fine. It just doesn't fit my palate, but the Madeira does. I don't. It's how he does it. It's the fermentation with fibers in the wooden vats. I think that's what gets it for me. It takes some of the over minerality or over pepperiness of regular G4 away, and of course it's a little higher proof than regular G4, and that's probably why I like it. Of course, I have Fortaleza. We've done the drink through with that. We've done the drink through with Lost Lore. I do have some Yayo. I have 4 different bottles of Yayo. I have a little bit of El Tequilino still strength left. I plan on getting more of El Tequilino. I just haven't done it yet. And again, I only got so much shelf space. Someday when I have a bar, I'll have all of it. I'll have probably, of my favorites, I will have all the expressions of each one someday. Cheers. Salute. Not disappointed ever. I had high expectations of that, and I'm not disappointed. That is something completely different as an extra añejo than I have had with the few extra añejos that I've had. My brain can't describe everything that's going on in my mouth, but it's delicious. And is it extravagant? Yeah, it's a little extravagant, but like I said, that would go great with a meal or an after meal as a dessert tequila. If you were doing a pairing, I would just, because of the citrus notes in it, I'm sure that was going to go good with just about anything. But I think fish or chicken would be I'd have to ask Mary Carmen. She'd know. She's an expert. It's like I said, the rabbit hole that I've jumped down into really has been an experience. I know people ask me occasionally, "Wow, you got a YouTube channel and you've got to be making." No, I'm not making any money off of this. I'm not. I don't have that many subscribers. I mean, we're gradually, we're growing, but all these tequila buys, they're on my dime. Nobody is purposefully giving me bottles. Most of the bottles that I have were purchased by me from what I make doing my regular job. So that means you can do that as well. You just need to be like me, take your time, buy them, and just like every paycheck, I kind of put money aside and say, okay, I've got this amount of money now. Can I buy one bottle? Can I buy two bottles? If I stay under if I stay in the $70 price range, usually I can get 2, 3 bottles every 2 weeks, just so I'm not hurting my my regular budget. And I just bought this bottle, the backup bottle for this bottle of Fortaleza. Oops, that's the still strength. I mean the regular Blanco. With tax and everything, it was still under $80. For me, that is the going price, regular retail price of Blanco, 70 something. It's still too high, but you know what? That's not gonna change anytime soon. So is what it is. But this was $70. This runs 90 to $100 for the still strength. This is way above that. And this actually was not bad. I think I paid over $200 for it the first time. This time for the single barrel, and it was on sale. I'm gonna say $175. Probably a little more than that. And by the time you added shipping and taxes, it was above that. But basically, I think it was still under $200 with shipping because it did come from California. That's the one thing I tried to avoid. And there's people. I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice. If you really want the bottle, you'll pay for whatever. But shipping. What was it? I think it was the Insolito. I was looking to buy a replacement, or a backup to one of the bottles that I bought when I bought the whole 3-pack, because I got a deal with buying the 3-pack. Suerte has those deals as well. You buy their 3 basic expressions, you get a little deal on the price, and sometimes they throw in the shipping. Not all the ways. Just check the website. But a lot of places, if you buy all 3, we'll throw the shipping in for free. Well, that makes it a little bit better because, man, you start paying the shipping for 3 bottles of tequila, that's $60, $80 just in shipping. It can be crazy. It all depends on where it's coming from. Fortunately, with Suerte, it's only coming from Colorado to Kansas City for me. It's a little better, but sometimes it's crazy. I went to go buy a bottle, and I can't remember what the bottle was, but let's say the bottle cost $45. Shipping was $35 for the bottle. Pretty sure it was from California, but shipping was $35. I'm like, no, forget it. I'm not doing it. No, that wasn't California. That was Florida, and you know who you are. I like these places that sell, because there's some people that can't get it. There's certain states like Indiana and Ohio and and North Carolina and different places that these tequilas aren't even on the spectrum of in their liquor stores, because they're not available in that state yet. They don't have distribution rights for those states. So buying it online and getting it shipped in from California, if you can get it shipped in from California or from Florida, there's states that prohibit it. Great. Or you pick it up while you're on vacation, while you're down in Disney World or Disneyland or wherever, and picking up bottles. Time to drink more tequila. Salute. Mm. Since we're into extra añejos, I know what we're going to drink next. Oh, don't have a lot left. But this is one of my favorite bottles of tequila. And this is El Tesoro, extra añejo. Got just a little bit left. And this is actually fairly reasonable in price for an extra añejo. I would put it right up there with the Arette as far as price goes. It could be a little higher. It depends on where you get it. But if you can find it locally, I don't know, in the $180 range, that's a really good deal for it. That's the problem with extra añejo tequilas in general. They're all going to be above 150 most of the time. Some of them are up there, upwards in the neighborhood of 200 and above. It all depends on their age. I was showing somebody the other day. We were looking at um, Bubbles in Parkville. Bubbles in Parkville has the Fuente line. They have the Blanco, and they have all the rest of the extra añejos, starting at, I believe it's at 4 years all the way up to 8. No, more than that. But anyway, the oldest aged extra añejo tequila they had from Fuente was crazy priced. I mean, it's out of my league, but that doesn't mean that it's not out of somebody else's. Because I'm not the president and CEO of 18 years. 18-year Fuente Reserva Extra Añejo was bottled in 2003. It sells for just under $900. Wow. Wow. But for an 18-year-old spirit, that's probably cheap, especially in the secondary market. And Bubbles is not in the secondary market. That's probably regular price for that. You know, Old Rip Van Winkle, 10-year. Right now, like regular, if you can find it, it's $800. That's the lowest price. It should only be 150. I mean, that's what they could sell it out of the distillery. That's what they would sell it for. It's probably $150 to $175. But you go on to the market, the cheapest you'll find it is $800 if you're lucky. Most of the time, it runs over $1,000 to $1,200. It's a 10-year-old bourbon, wheated bourbon. Don't get me wrong, it's delicious. I've had it a couple of times. It is really, really good for a wheated bourbon, and it's 107 proof. It has all of those chocolate and cherry notes to it. It's that's, and I haven't tasted anything higher than that. I mean, as far as in the old in the Van Winkle line, I haven't. That happens to be my brother-in-law's favorite, and that's what we drink. And we're looking to do other things, but that just happens to be the one that he has. It's his favorite. He's on his third bottle, and this third bottle hasn't been since he bought it. It's been almost 3 years since he opened it. I mean, since he bought it, and we just opened it for his birthday this year, and it's delicious. We compared it with a couple other things that we have. They don't hold a candle, and we're talking wheated whiskeys. We're not talking just anything in general. So can you imagine an 18-year-old extra añejo tequila to this 7-year, to this? I don't know how old the Arette is, but I know this one's about 7 years. Wow, what is it going to taste like? Someday, maybe. Who knows? But is it are bottles like that something that's in my radar? No. I love the new stuff like from Lost Lore, and the new stuff that comes out of Cascaween, and all the new stuff that comes out of 1414 Vivanco. Sergio Cruz has got his hands full, and he does a wonderful job with what he does. Fortaleza, just their consistency throughout. If that's my pappy, which it's not, I agree with Guillermo. He doesn't want to be pappy, and I believe it shouldn't be that way. But the want for his bottles drives these prices up to where Not that they're unattainable, but sometimes they're not the smartest move to buy. But anyway, salute. Mm. That's just good. So I've compared the Arette Extra Añejo to the Tears. They're not the same. They have some similar characteristics, but they're not the same. But if we look at color, let's go by color. The Arette's color, I'm going to try to get it over where there's some light so we can see the color. There we go. Out of the bottom of the bottle. Nice amber color. Um, trying to get more light on it. Sorry. But it's got a nice color to it. But you compare it to the Tears, that's a big difference. That is a huge difference. Um, you put a light behind this, it looks red, especially those LED lights up there. I took a picture of it and sent it off to a friend of mine, and she's like, "Oh my!" And I'm like, "It's not really that red," because it looks like a really deep rosé um, wine, but it's no, it's tequila. Promise you, it's tequila. But then you look at at Carlos Camarena stuff coming out of El Tesoro. That looks like a repo. It does. But guess what? It don't taste like one. So this is what I try to tell my friends at work, people that I talk to about tequila. Try as much as you can. Let's see. Already we've gone into 5 bottles, maybe 6 before we're done. You know, this is how you expand your palate. Find out what you like. For me, it's everything, but not really. I have a little place, little place in my heart is where I started out, and that's reposados. Find a good reposado, and everything else just follows along. The blancos come along, the añejos come along, and then it just your palate just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's the only way you're going to, not only, um, but that it's one of the ways to expand your palate. If you're really going to get into this and be as eggheady as me about it, you got to try different stuff, and you need to try it on a regular basis and compare it to the stuff you already know. If you can, if you go to a bar and they have El Tesoro Extra Añejo, and let's say they have the Arette, get a pour of both. Maybe split it up between 2 or 3 of you, and try it. You go, oh, I like the notes on this one, or I like the notes on that one. El Tesoro, let's give this one. I wish my nose wasn't quite so stuffed up. Mm, that's good, but it's really good. It's sweet. There's some fruit notes in there. My mind is going elsewhere. Um, it's really good. It tastes wonderful. The finish is great. It has a nice. It doesn't burn. Of course, we're back down to probably 80 proof on this. Yep, we were at 46 on this one. 46 on that one. So we're dropping down a proof. So the burn is going away. Um, at 40, but it's got everything you'd want for an extra añejo. Super sweet, naturally, because of the barrel, because of the fruit trees around the distillery during fermentation, the natural yeast that they do use. It's all of those. Yeah, that's the last of the extra añejos that I have. But it's really really good. And budget wise, it's like I said, it's right there with the Arette Extra Añejo. They're on the higher end of the scale, but they're almost always available. Almost always available. Sometimes they're priced a little too high. The big box store, they tend to want to get as much out of it as possible. One that probably should be an extra añejo, but I know it's not. It's an añejo. Is Nam 1140. Come on, Christopher. 1146. That's out of Fonseca, the Fonseca family, and that's where Fonseca is made. Where Don Fulano is made. Um, its regular price, is under $100, but the big box stores love to charge you 120, 130. It should be right at about $80 to $90 for an añejo. That's a really good price for an añejo. It's about $90. Um, but no, they want to gouge you for whatever they can, because they want you to buy the Don Roberto, and they want you to buy the La Familia, and they want you to buy this, and they want you to buy that. Please, Doug Price just put out a little Instagram short of going to Total Wine and looking for budget tequilas. And he's right. There's so much. I'm going to hate saying this because it's going to offend somebody. There's so much crap out there. The guys at my Total Wines that I normally frequent, which I don't frequent as much as I have in the past, when they see me, they just like, "Sir, do you?" No, it's you. Okay, go ahead. I can't talk you into buying this or that right now. No, okay. I had one that he was new, and he came up and goes, "Well, I've got samples of this and this and this." And he goes, "You got to try that. I think that it's better than." Okay, okay. So we try it, and I said, "Okay, can you try this with me?" He goes, "Well, I could do one." I said, "Okay, you pick the one, and then we'll try it together." So he picked the La Familia Añejo, and I did it with him. And I said, it's nice, it's sweet, it has a nice mouthfeel up front. And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "What does it do when it's about mid palate, about midway back in your mouth, back down your tongue, and then to the back of your tongue where you're swallowing?" I said, "Does it remind you of anything?" He's like, "Well, it's not quite." I said, "Does it remind you of saccharin sweetened Diet Coke or whatever, of a diet soda?" And all of a sudden his eyes went, "Yeah." I said, "That's not natural." I said, "If you could give me a sample of something that would be similar to that, and let's say, we'll use Tequila Ocho Añejo as an example. Compare a La Familia to a Tequila Ocho Añejo. Compare the two. Which one do you like better?" He goes, "I don't know. I can't try it." I said, "Go find somewhere that has it and try it, or buy a bottle and try it." The regular for Tequila Ocho Añejo, it's not stupidly priced. It's a really nice price, but take it home, try it a couple times. Try it, let it open up. You're gonna find that's one of the best añejos on the market. Plain simple. All right, we're gonna close it out because I'm probably getting too long, but we'll be doing some new videos along the way. I don't know what I'm going to do for content between now and Mexico. Whatever pops up, if I get a new bottle, of course I'm going to bring it up. If I get really bored and want to do this again, I'll do this again. I'm telling you, I'm going to do this again. So, till next time, be merry, be happy. Don't let the cold weather get to you. And it's always tequila time. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.